Thanks for staying with us. I'm Sarah Bernard here with Joe Wilson and Marius Johnson of the organization called Better Together. And you guys have been working since last November, so going on a year, 9 months or so, to find ways that all of our municipalities in our metro area can work together more efficiently. Is that it in a nutshell?
Yeah, and really we're trying to understand what the impact of having such fragmented government in this region is. You know, as I mentioned earlier, there are 115 governments delivering municipal level services. That doesn't even include things like water service or the museum zoo district. So we're really just trying to get our hands around what the impact is. You know, one of the interesting findings that we've recently released is a study. It actually wasn't one of our planned studies, but one of the questions we kept getting was, how much is $2.3 billion? It sounds like a lot. Is it really a lot?
Compared to other cities?
Exactly,
Right.
Exactly. And so we looked at some of the other cities that have gone through similar processes and that are similar to St. Louis in a number of ways. We looked at Indianapolis and Louisville, and we found that compared to what they spend in Louisville on municipal level services, we spend over $750 million a year more than they do. So not just like at the whole level, but on a per capita basis, we spend about $600 more per person here in St. Louis than they do in India. And
do you feel that there can be economies of scale that by consolidating some of those services we can benefit, or do you think that we already are benefiting because more is spent per capita?
You know, I think we probably have a different level of services, but I don't know that it justifies $750 million every year.
Yeah.
And you'd think with economies of scale, we already have a larger population than Indianapolis. We have a larger population than Louisville, so we should be able to see some benefit there. We're excited to get to our next studies, which are public safety and parks and recreation. We have a hunch that a lot of the overspend is going to be in some of those areas, and we're not benefiting from economies of scale because we have so many small different governments.
Yeah. Joe, tell us a little bit about how the research is done, because it's got to be daunting.
Well, as Marius was saying before, we're doing these community-based studies. And normally when a study like this is performed, it's an outside group, outside consultants come in, they might stay in a community for a couple of weeks, they'll talk to the executives in government and in business, maybe talk to some labor leaders, and they write their report, collect their check, and they go. Our research, we really are trying to make this a community-based study. We're trying to engage as many people in the community as we can and talk to as many people as we can about the areas of study that we're doing. During the economic development study, we went out and spoke with hundreds of...
About 1,500 people.
Wow.
Yeah.
About 1,500 people, trying to find out what their experiences were in starting a small business or working in the St. Louis region. One of the things we found out was it can be very difficult. It can be a very daunting task to try and start a business. There's 90 municipalities, the city and the county. There's just as many ways to start a business in each of those communities. The licensing process is different for almost every one.
And that's difficult for a business that wants to expand.
Absolutely,
Yes.
Absolutely. We talked to a business owner in the Soulard area who said they were very interested in expanding their business, but they were so busy running their business that they didn't have time to both step away and invest the time in starting a new business and learning an entirely new process for just getting it licensed, meeting the new folks. And so that was a huge barrier because that's money that they're not earning for themselves, but it's also money not going back into the community.
Right. So do you feel that from the work that you all are doing, that you're going to have recommendations that can help make it more manageable for all of the communities?
You know, we will to a certain extent. We are a nonprofit, a 501c3, and so we're not going to put forward any specific plans, but one of the things we hope to do is highlight best practices. Okay. And so one of the best practices from our economic development study was out of Pennsylvania. In the Philadelphia area, they have a website called the Welcome Center for New Pennsylvanians, where they lay out, if you want to start a deli, you want to start a storefront, these are the steps you need to take. These are the people you need to contact at each step of the way if you have questions. And it's very clear. They have it in various languages so that it's welcoming to immigrants or people from different parts of the nation as well.
So we might end up with a website or something that shows people
just
those
making it clearer
steps.
for business owners so that it's not a 2-day process just to get a business license.
Right. So, and Joe, when do you expect that all of your reports will be done? How long is this process?
We're releasing a new report every couple of months. Actually, the public health study should be coming out fairly shortly. But we're looking to be done in January or February, probably later February.
Yeah, that's pretty quick. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a lot of work to do.
There's a fast turnaround, but each one of the studies has been very interesting. There's lots of material to try and dive into. There's lots of things that, maybe public finance isn't your thing, maybe public safety is, but there's something that should be interesting to everyone in the region.
Right.
There's something that should tickle your fancy almost
all of your
everywhere.
reports and things to date can be found on your website.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We highly encourage people to visit the website. You can learn more about what we're doing, see our reports. That's Better Together STL.com.
Okay.
All of the source documents that we utilize are there in a searchable database. So if you want to check our work, we encourage you to do so.
Yeah, I'm sure you'd love feedback from everyone in our region. And I do hope you all will come back in February, give you guys a chance to get it together. And I feel bad even keeping you here. You've got a lot of work to do, but come back and tell us, what you're recommending, the things that you found that we can all benefit from.
Sure.
When you're done. So that would be awesome. If you'd like to view these studies or find more information on Better Together, like Marius said, visit them online at bettertogetherstl.com. Stay tuned. We'll be back with Hope Hospice after this break.